Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new image model from XAI called Grok Imagine Pro. It's the Pro edition. Let's see what it can do. So as a filmmaker, the first thing I like to try with any image model is to make a realistic cinematic dialogue scene between two people. So here we are on the fall playground, and the text prompt is medium two-shot of a 23-year-old Korean girl. What I normally do here is crank the number of images to 4 so I can have different options. The aspect ratios, I'm questioning if this is correct from either XAI or from our side, but anyway, the ratio is 20 by 9. It's usually 21 by 9, but anyway, we have our normal things like resolution, JPEG output, and basically a simple text-to-image model. And here are the 4 outputs. So from all of these, my favorite is going to be this one. This is our most standard 2-shot, medium shot, and we're leaning to the strengths of generative AI at the moment, which is our medium shot. Too wide, the faces get a little bit mushy. And now I'm going to be happily showing you a preview of something that's coming out pretty soon on fall, is the fall library. So this is just a collection of all the images and videos I generated all in one place. We've been waiting for this for quite a while, and it looks very lovely. Hope you enjoy this little preview here. So here's a bunch of the images I generated along the way, just kind of testing the video model, a little sneaky TikTok video I was testing out. And you can see the generations that I went through to make this first part happen. And what I did after this was move on to coverage, right? So I want close-ups of each one of the characters here. And the text prompt is 100mm f1.3 shallow depth of field, close-up shot of the man over the shoulder of the woman. This is something I've been doing for quite a while. And the text prompt was in edit mode, of course, 100mm f1.3 shallow depth of field, but close-up shot of the woman over the shoulder of the man. And I tried to prompt for keep the man and the woman in the same relative position on the couch. Didn't quite do that. So if we're really picky about the coverage in the background, like you kind of watch as the camera moves around, the plants and the environment, not the most consistent in the world. There are techniques for this, but I didn't want to get too complicated here. But overall, we ended up with a medium shot and coverage over the shoulders. And here's bringing it into, I think Grok Imagine Video is what I generated this with. Here's a little animated short film of it.
I don't know why you are so afraid to post it.
I don't know. It's just embarrassing to post videos these days. So many trolls.
Yeah, I get that. I have an idea. Send me the video and I'll post it.
Okay, sure.
Here, look.
Pretty good. Grok Imagine Video, I don't use it a ton, but the performances were pretty believable. You know, they're still very AI-generated feeling, but I think overall, for people that are used to that aesthetic and that sound, I think it did a really good job. So for my second test, I wanted to go for more of like a 3D, playful, stylized execution, and I imagined a little toy assistant robot called Groky, for obvious reasons, and then Groky is a cute name, so I was really excited about this. So here we are on the fall playground back using Grok Imagine Pro, and the prompt is clean, white, simple dog robot. You know, not the craziest prompt in the world. And the first 2 generations weren't my favorite. I was like, I would kind of want to kill these with fire, but then they did it, and they nailed it. It gave it the puppy dog eyes with the sclera showing. Looks incredibly cute. I want this in real life. And we just doubled down from here. I was like, Grok's done it. Let's make a movie or a commercial or something. So from there, I was heavily inspired. I was like, that's the cutest dog ever. And the idea for the film was that this dog robot could change form to fit with whatever you wanted to do with it and bring it along with you. Because right now with AI robotics, there's this whole debate of like, is it going to be a phone? Is the AI assistant like in your ear like her? Is it going to be a pendant, a hat, shoes, a watch? Like what's the form factor? We don't know. So the idea for the film was to be playful with it and just have it change to whatever you want and, you know, have it be like, you know, sci-fi and not so realistic. But so just to walk through the evolution here, we started off with the 4 prompt for the base robot. I was like, that is perfect. And from there, I went into edit with Grok Imagine Pro and said, make this robot dog into a baseball-shaped hat. And, you know, the designs Grok is coming back with are just so funny. I was like, this is going to be hilarious. I tried to make it a pendant. I don't think that really worked out. Some shoes. And then at a certain point, I realized that I didn't have the word Groky on the robot. I think it said like robot on it. So I wanted to brand it. So again, took the original image of the robot that I liked and said, replace the text on the dog to say Groky, give him a dog name tag that says Groky, just multiple opportunities for the branding on there. And I ended up choosing, I believe, this one with the dark blue necklace, little name tag, Groky's on the side, and we're off to the races. And just prompting through a couple different hats. I forget the prompt was something like, make this robot dog into a baseball-shaped hat, no name tag, because I thought the name tag was distracting. I believe we ended up going with this one. Pretty fun. Then I just did the same thing over and over again, lots of glasses, until I liked this one with the nose. Sort of an odd thing to have on glasses, but make this robot dog into an AI smart shoe. No name tag. Keep the eyes and nose and ears. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to still look like an animal. I did a watch and a phone. They didn't make the final film, though I did make some videos out of it. Same thing with the headphones, right? And these designs are super fun, and the renders look like super high quality 3D objects. They're not like hyper realistic with like super shiny and like, smudges on them and stuff like that. And I will say that, test me if you want, I could 3D model all of these things. It would take me months to execute this film, but I could hand model all of these. Chose not to in this case. I tried to make like a smart ring, wasn't my favorite. And the finale here was the Groky coffee cup. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny. We're just riffing. And, as we look at the, again, preview fall library, it's just really fun to watch the evolution. And this is the best part about generative AI to me, is that once you land in your concept, even if you 3D model it, drew it, generated it, whatever, that you can just go through so many iterations so quickly versus imagine 3D modeling every single one of these. I mean, obviously you wouldn't take them all to that finish. You'd be in concept art, but it's a fun part for me as a creator who's done it the traditional way and does it this way. I like moving fast like this. It's very fun. So what I did at this phase is I just took all of these images, I generated them as squares, and I just chucked them into Seedance, and I said, make a commercial where the robot transforms between these different forms, and here's what it came back as. So that was a cool proof of concept just to see the transitions. I liked how it looked, but it was square. So I made a 16:9 version and I prompted for a bit of a voiceover. And luckily it actually synced the voiceover text with what was happening. I don't know if that was coincidence or not, probably not. And here's what that commercial looked like.
Groky is your new AI companion. He can help you see, hear, run, and stay connected.
So that version had the voiceover, and it had some transitions that kind of went to orbs in between. I didn't really specify, but I had a new idea after that. And we're back again on the preview fall playground, and you can see here that I prompted for a simplified 3D all-white human teenage girl in a minimalistic white room with white panel overhead lighting, and boom, it nailed it. It does look like they're kind of 3D models here. This one had a little bit too much detail, and then this one I thought was perfect. It kind of reminds me of a Nintendo. We don't want to say that for copyright reasons, but it sort of reminded me of a Wii aesthetic, right? Like the all-white Wii characters. That was kind of what I was going for. And this kind of Severance/Apple overhead lighting, very clean, very 3D, ambient occlusion looking clay render for the final. And then from there, I basically took this reference image of the girl and then the different reference images of the different robot states, brought those into Seedance without any first frames, and started prompting for interactions. The girl plays with the small robot dog. She motions to her head, and the robot transforms into a hat and lands on her head. The girl poses with the new robot hat. No music. Here's what that clip looks like. And we just kept going. I mean, Seedance with just references, no first frames, does an incredible job. And I kept doing the same thing over and over again. Reference the wide shot of the 3D girl, and then put the two props in it and just prompt for what we want as far as transitions. It would add sound effects, and I'm just kind of quickly going through these. Really fun stuff happening. Here's the finale and a little preview of some other stuff I was messing around with. But here's the final shot of the girl. In this case, I prompted for, did I prompt for the medium shot? What do we say here? The girl is sitting in a white armchair and takes a sip of coffee from the cup. The cup transforms into a dog and sits in her lap as she pets the dog. So that wraps it up for our first look at Grok Imagine Pro, again available on fall today to test out. As we move into more and more what I would just say is agentic filmmaking here, we just give it the references that we've art directed, that we've chosen, that we've selected, and you just let Seedance cook. Try to, I would say see what it does first. It'll start making its own shots, and then you start further refining from there. Like, you know what, I want this to be closer. I want the camera to move like this. But a lot of the times, especially in prototype phase, what Seedance 2 is going to give you is pretty good. They've trained it on some pretty good content, I must say. Let me know if you have any questions about this workflow, and can't wait to see what you build with the new Grok Imagine Pro and Seedance, I think, is the combo. I'll see you on the next video.